Okay, so yeah, I've been battling with making this video. Maybe I should say hi right now. Okay, I'll probably add that after. So yeah, okay, okay. Hi guys. So yeah, I've really been battling with making this video for the longest time. I don't know why, but it just felt a bit unsettling at first. But I think one of the things that gave me courage was a video of someone I saw on TikTok. So he's doing his third year and he's doing a BA at Viz. And he basically made a vlog of his overnight stay at the computer lab. So he did that. It was an overnight stay at the computer lab, and the reason why it was a vlog of his overnight stay was because he was apparently defunded by NSFAS and he didn't really have a place to stay. So that was a very big trigger for me because I found myself in a similar situation last year. And I really thought it would be a good idea to share my story as well. Just to be a beacon of hope, to show someone out there, which things will work out. You just need to keep on keeping on, and not only to do that, but to also share my or share some hints on how I managed to just emerge on the other side victorious, if I may. So yeah, this is basically the purpose of this video. I hope I don't take too long, but I'll try to keep it very short. Please bear with me. I tend to digress at times. It's wired differently. I just focus on a lot of things all at once, so please bear with me. But yeah, where do I start? So basically I did my BHSC at Wits, graduated in 2021, and now I'm doing my fifth year at Wits doing medicine, right? So I went into medicine via the GEMP program. So I went into third year medicine, but I'll do a different video of all the steps I followed to get into GEMP in like a different video. But this one is just purely it's just purely for the reasons I mentioned before. So yeah, I didn't really have to pay the registration fee for my third year, and the reason for that is my balance was I had some money left in my student fees account, so I didn't really have to pay for registration to go into medicine, right? I had to pay the application fees and everything else, but not really the registration. So that's what happened. I found myself doing medicine third year. And then after that, I wasn't funded. I still am not funded to this day, but I'm really trying to apply for bursaries and everything else. But we can't stand back. We can't now, stand back and wait for bursaries to fall down from the sky. And you need to just keep going. It doesn't matter if you find it or not. It really is difficult, I won't lie. I know it is difficult. I've had that experience also. But you can't sit back. You really cannot sit back and wait for someone to give you handouts. If in handouts, well, I think so. Yeah, you can't do that. So that's the mentality I had. So one of the things I was doing in third year was I was a tutor, right? I was a freelancer. I was doing other side jobs, and my journey into side jobbing or side hustling started back in 2020. When I came across a video of a YouTuber called so the YouTuber is Unosipho Gumede. I think his name is Gumede, but I'm not sure. I'll check. But the name of her YouTube channel is Financial Affairs with Nosipho, and she opened my eyes to side hustles. I won't lie, she's really had a very huge impact on the person I am today, and I'm really grateful for that. She really does deserve her flowers. And so yeah, that's how I decided to side hustle. listened to her videos and stuff like that, did a few side jobs, and everything else. I was a tutor at the same time. So going into medicine, I was already familiar with side hustling, so I decided to carry on with that because I really did not have anyone to help me with my food, and stuff like that, other essentials that you need. So I had to think on my feet, right? So I was doing all these side hustles, being a tutor. I also decided to join a Bolt. So I was a Bolt driver for the year 2022. And yeah, it really was a big struggle. I won't lie. It was a lot, but sometimes desperate times call for really desperate measures, and I was really desperate at the time. And I thought to myself, you cannot go to sleep hungry. You have to think on your feet. What can you do? Use your brain, use your hands, use something. You can't just sit back, So yeah, that's what I did. Okay, and that's basically, that's how I found myself being a Bolt driver. So I mean, I was fairly new into driving. I only got my license in like December 2021. That was my first time being in a car. Then following year, continued with or started doing a Bolt. I applied for my PDP, which is a professional driving permit. So I applied for that, did Bolt, life just carried on. And how I would juggle around being a Bolt driver, being a tutor, being at school and stuff like that is, so our compulsory stations were only in the afternoon. So from like 1-ish p.m., that's when you get compulsory sessions. And they're not every day. So what I would do is I would wake up really early in the morning. By 6 a.m., around 6, half past 6, I leave race. I start with my trips. So I drive around Joburg, Sandton, just around the area, transporting people around until 10 a.m., right? So that was my cutoff. 10 a.m., I'm driving back to school. So I drive back to school, just briefly study for those remaining hours until I had to attend my compulsories or whatever. And then after the compulsories, I go back to the grind again. So at times I would go there wearing my scrubs, and some clients would ask me, "Hi, Bo, what's going on?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm just a student, side hustling, I'm fit." So that's what I would do. That's basically it. Yeah. Okay, so I had been sharing about the year 2022. So 2022, drove both the whole year until this other weekend where it was the payday weekend, right? People had been paid. It's month end. Business was really booming at the time. So I thought to myself, it's probably best that I work this whole weekend, and then the following week I wouldn't, have to work. I'd then just focus on my studies and do everything else. So I decided to do that. So Friday morning, I didn't really go to school then. I think on that Friday I didn't go to school. So I decided to just sit or stay the whole morning, studying. That's basically what I did. I studied, did everything else, rested also until like about 5, between 4 and 6, right? Because 4, that's when people are knocking off. So the business is really, it's busy during that time. So I go do my trips, I'm around Joburg, Sandton, all these lovely areas around Joburg. And I drive the whole night in Mangiti around 2 a.m. So it's now Saturday morning, 2 a.m. I'm like, I've been really working the whole night. And right now I'm in, was it Orange Farm? I think I was in Orange Farm. I was really far away, man. So I'm like, Orange Farm, I need to go back home now. So I drive back to Bram, get here at like 3 a.m. I think I got here at like around 3 a.m. So I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning at like 10-ish, 11. I rest kancane, and then I'm like, okay, let me go back to grinding. So I go back on the grind, I go back ngiyosebenza. I work until like 3 p.m., right? So around 3 p.m., I get a request to Yeovil. And if you're a Bolt driver, you know that Yeovil is really bad news. You don't want to find yourself there. It's better to drop off than to pick up a Yeovil. But even the drop off is a bit shady at times. So rather don't do Yeovil at all. Yeah. So I get a request to Yeovil. I go there, right? No, I take a patient.
Drag queen! A drag queen!
Why am I saying patient? How am I? Okay, so I get a client, not patient. I get a client from Yeovil, from a different place to Yeovil. So I drive this guy. He's an elderly man. I'm okay with him. He doesn't look like he's, going to give me any troubles. So I get to Yeovil. Just before I get to Yeovil, I get another request from Yeovil to a different place it was a good trip because I was going to make a lot of money from it, right? So I decided to take the trip. So I drop off the guy and then I drive to this other client who wants to be taken from Yeovil to a different place. So I'll probably make a story time about this, but I ended up being mugged, and they took my phone, my license, luckily not the car. So yeah, that was really good, and I'm really grateful for that because they didn't even harm me. They didn't really do anything. They just took my car, my phone, license, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Then they left. He ran away, but I've got his pictures and everything like that, so I'll probably make a story time telling you about how he stole my number, created a different WhatsApp account, just a lot of things. Fine. And then after I decided what I'm getting. So it really left me traumatized, I won't lie, because for the longest time I think I when you get that gut feeling, don't do this, nah? And you do it. So you feel really guilty with, if I had listened to this gut feeling, if I had listened to God, because when I heard that voice, nah, when I had that feeling, I was like, God's on my side. I mean, mina no Jesus, skim samless, So yeah, I really should have listened to that voice, but I'm grateful that my life was spared and nothing bad happened. Yeah. So after that, I battled with a lot of trauma from then, but I'm still dealing with it. Life goes on. Impilo is not waiting for you to heal. Unfortunately, that's the sad reality we are faced with. You will heal along the way. So yeah, that happened, and then after that I decided to take my tutoring seriously, right? Because I had been tutoring whilst being a Bolt driver, whilst studying also, but I was like, Samgeli, so the only way you're going to make a living is off tutoring, nothing else. So I really focused on my in-person tutoring because I was mostly doing online tutoring with another organization, but I'll share all my side hustles in a different video. So I was like, okay, so we're focusing on the in-person sessions now, getting more clients and everything else, right? So I do that. I think my phone is low. Okay, no, it's charging. So I do that. I focus on that, and it really did sustain me, I won't lie. I never went to bed hungry. I always had something to eat, through the grace of God. So yeah. Fast forward to 2023, now I'm in fourth year, I passed, right? So fourth year, fourth year, same struggle. We don't have funding, no bursary, except for a partial bursary I got the year before. But there was just a lot. So yeah, except for that, I didn't have funding. So I needed to pay roughly 20,000 for me to register. And a family member was able to assist, which I'm really grateful for. So I registered for fourth year. So fourth year I registered, but now the struggle is I don't have a place to stay, right? Because home home is really far, and I can't be traveling every day because then, sometimes you have to be in the hospital really early in the morning, or sometimes you leave late at night. Not late at night, but like you knock off really late, and you have to study. There was just a lot of conflicting things. So I was like, okay, the only solution I have right now, and I remember I told one of my friends about this. I was like, ngicela ungikhaphe to a Virgin Active, because I'm really thinking of sleeping in the car. There's really nothing else that will help me at this point in time. So, because I had been applying for bursaries, but nothing was working out. I still am, and I'm just hoping for a positive outcome soon. But so I joined Virgin Active, and they had a special at that time. If you joined, there was a discount or something. But I joined Virgin Active just so I could take showers in the morning, because the plan was to sleep in the car. I don't know for how long, but dropping out was not an option. It's not an option. I'm not going to drop out. So I sleep in the car for like 3-4 months, and I would go take showers in the morning at gym. I would park the car at the university's parking lot, ngilale khona overnight. I had like a blanket. So it was my mini wardrobe. Back seat. What was the back seat for? Because Benglala in the front seat, I would just recline the chair. The back seat was for something else, but I compartmentalized everything. So on my left back seat was the kitchen. Yeah, back seat very quiche. And then my left, the passenger seat was probably at my dining area. Yeah. so yeah, that's how life was back then. So that's what I did. So early in the morning, I'd quickly go to the toilets, just brush my teeth, and then I drive to Virgin Active, take a shower, gym ngenkani, and then I go back to school. So that was my life for like 3-4 months. And then in terms of ukudla, sometimes I'd go cook at my friend's place. She would also help me with laundry. They had like a laundry thing. I don't think I should be mentioning this, but they had a laundry facility. So I'd give her my clothes or go there and wash, just have clean clothes and stuff. So that's how I was surviving for those 4 months. Then in terms of food, also I would go to, if I felt like a home cooked meal, I know it's not home cooked, but something homey or whatever, homely, I think it's homely. I would go to a boxer, just buy a plate for my 20, 30 rand, 40 lapo. Then I'd buy noodles as well, tons and tons of them, because at school we had, I think on the 3rd floor we had a student kitchen, right? So they had a microwave there, in the bar fridge. So I'd keep some of my food there. If I needed to make some noodles, I'd use the microwave, stuff like that. Life was okay. Life was bearable. I was able to, just shanganisa here and there, and yeah, it just worked out. I think I just had that positive outlook on life, because if I didn't have that, I really would not have survived. It was really tiring sleeping in the car. Umzimba is always sore, and you're not only sleeping in the car, you have to, it's your morning routine, which you rush to the toilet, you're before anyone sees you, then this, then that. Yeah, but there's just a lot going on. And then after school, you have to go my client's arc, or you have to go tutor, because you need the money as well. So there's really no time for you to fool around. You can't afford to be doing all these nasty things, it's not even nasty things. You can't even afford to take care of yourself, because you're always constantly working. You have bills to pay, you have to take care of yourself, you need to buy some food, Okay, so yeah, I think I just got cut off for some reason. But yeah, it's not even nasty things that you can't do. It's just life in and of itself. You can't take care of yourself. You can't even afford to take yourself out for like a drink or whatever. Not even a drink. I don't drink. For like an ice cream. or something. You can't romanticize your life. You can't, there's just something so draining about finding yourself in that situation, because you feel like there's no way out. That's how I felt for the longest time last year. I felt like there was no way out, and I was just tired. I was just tired. I was just doing it because I have to do it, honestly. There was nothing to look forward to. I felt in that moment that there's really nothing to look forward to, and it was really draining. And I'm really grateful to God because He's brought me this far. Because even that relationship, nonkulunkulu, you feel like at times, hey God, yeah, Ugu, where are you? And I think one of the things we tend to be fed by prosperity preachers is that we are immune to problems. We will not go through certain things. We will not go through hardships, or even if we do, in there's just this narrative that we are being fed, and I don't think it brings justice to the word of God. Goba, it's not that He didn't promise. It's not that He said we would not go through trials and tribulations, but it's that He said He will be with us. And in whatever hardships we face, God will be with us. And that's His promise. I will be with you till the end of time. I will sustain you, I will keep you. And that is literally what my life story is. I have seen Him sustaining me throughout. Even this year, I'm really grateful that I have a place to stay, and life is a bit better. But still, I have to work. I have to see clients. I have to tutor. I have to look for other side jobs so that I can sustain myself. And it's God's promise, Yoguti. I will be with you at all times. If I were to, even as I'm sharing the story with you, I really don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, Uguti. I have gone through all those things, and I still emerged, on the other side victorious. It's all through the grace of God, and I thought I'd just share that with you also. And yeah, there is a way out. There is a way out, and that way is Ujesu. Is the way, the truth, and the life. And He's the only one who can sustain us in this journey. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys. That's been my life story from the beginning. I at some point failed second year. I at some point broke my arm before I went to go write exams. I'm right-handed, and this was in grade 12. I'm right-handed, and God saw me through that as well. I had to write with my cast on. God has really been there to move me from one place to the next, to show His faithfulness. And yeah, let me stop going around in circles. And yeah, I think that's the story I want to share today. I'll definitely share more stories, about my side hustles and stuff like that, and make more videos. But that's basically what I wanted to share today. How I survived being homeless for like 3-4 months, how I had to be a tutor, how I had to look for other side jobs, how I was a bolt driver at some point, how I was also mad, and at some point also failing my second year, but that's a story for another day. So yeah, I just really hope that someone gets or feels encouraged by this. And yeah,